Throw rocks and riot. Washington Post article calls for full-on Nazi-style violence in the streets. The Washington Post just published an article that appeals to the left to engage in violence and rioting as a means of precipitating change. By J. Sermopoulos, August 17, 2017. As extremism begins to grip American society on both sides of the ideological line, it's worth noting that the mass media has been a catalyst for the sharpening of radical divide across the United States. Not since the civil rights era has there been such a distinctly divided American nation. The Washington Post is right in the middle. The violence witnessed in Charlottesville was indicative of a larger ideological battle that has, until recently, largely been played out in mass and social media, as the non-stop barrage of race-baiting news only serves to capitalize on the strive for clicks, i.e. increased revenue at the expense of maintaining a civil society. One can pinpoint the drastic recent sharpening of ideological divisions in the U.S. to the killing of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. In many ways, Brown's murder was a catalyst to the divisive nature of American society that we are seeing play out in the streets today. What began as online battles between people that believed Brown to be a victim, and those that claim he was a thug have now taken on a new life, as we witness a drastic sharpening of identities. Make no mistake that what we saw in Charlottesville last weekend was simply the beginning of a hardening of conflict solidarity, and which could inevitably result in continued violence and death. Advertisement. The question now becomes, how did America come to resemble Weimar Germany, with socialist white nationalists engaged in violent altercations resulting in blood in the streets? While racism has never left the proverbial building here in the U.S., the main drivers of the conflict actions now being seen are mainstream corporate media. After pushing identity politics en masse onto the American psyche, emboldened by extremist ideology, the systemic divisions of racial and ethnic groups have become the new norm, as the public discourse has been buried in the name of political correctness. Read more. Rams players make bold political statement by entering field with hands up, don't shoot pose. The stoking of racial tensions for profit, at the expense of an ongoing and continuous healing of racial division, has without question gripped the mass media and played a large role in the hardening of racial and ethnic identities. One need look no further than a recent op-ed published by the Washington Post, written by N.D.B. Connolly, an associate professor at Johns Hopkins University. Connolly breathlessly appeals to the left to engage in violence and rioting as a means of precipitating change, while ignoring the fact that this will simply result in an increase in identity solidarity for those targeted by the violence. A never-ending feedback loop of violence and death, if you will. Connolly writes, "The white nationalist riot in Charlottesville, a city that boasts diversity makes us stronger, made a lot of things clear. One of them is that generic solutions to the racial problem, bland affirmations of inclusiveness, tolerance, and free speech will no longer work. Indeed, they have never worked, at least not on their own." In April 1968, amid a flurry of other rocks, riots shook American cities following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. It took that rolling unrest, not the promise of further economic growth, to spur President Lyndon Johnson and Congress to action. Within a week they had passed the Fair Housing Act. Over the past century, liberalism, vexed by an ever-sharp, ever-cutting white supremacy, has needed these rocks. Segregationists have again assumed their pedestals in the Justice Department, the White House, and many other American temples. Paper alone won't drive them out. Start throwing rocks. Rather than promoting peaceful solutions that de-escalate the increasing racial/ethnic strife, the Washington Post advocates ideas that will almost certainly result in more destruction, violence, and death in America. Read more. Watch, Divide and Conquer on full display as police let fascist groups battle each other in Portland. With strict standards for vetting op-eds, one of America's most popular publications, albeit largely just a U.S. government propaganda rag, essentially endorses violence as a solution to these complex racial and ethnic issues. One can reasonably assume that since the piece was vetted by WAPO editors, they clearly understood the significance of allowing the promotion of violence to the American public at large. when what is considered one of the publications of repute in the U.S., to those caught in the mainstream matrix, publishes an advocacy of violence, it becomes clear that they are now advocating by proxy political violence. Please share this article in hopes of awakening others to the realization that the mainstream media is distinctly complicit in the sharpening of conflict solidarity on both sides of the ideological line, an extremely slippery slope that is likely to result in a devolution of American civil society, rioting, and even politically motivated killing. In the words of the immortal Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., "Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that." Martin Luther King, Jr.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.